Last time on D&D,
Previously on Dragon Ball Z.
pretty much.
Oh my god.
Pretty much.
Sorry. Do continue.
Our
5
group
minutes till the
of adventurers between Uthar, Corden. Let me pull up the rest of them. Uthar, Corden, Nadar, and Mirnir had been taken captive by the cult of the Black Earth. Continuing their investigation, the rescue party of Bolo, Cammy, Chud, Karina, and Sierra found themselves coming face to face with many of the cult's members. And after a relatively intense series of fights with Earth cultists, found themselves in front of a underground prison of sorts, where our original 4 had been locked away. As well as, I believe it was roughly about 15 or so common folk, travelers, merchants, miners, things of the like. These motherfuckers in chat.
Sorry, do continue.
Oh yeah, something I just thought about that I need to do. 1 second. For the stream.
Make it so they can actually see it?
I need to create a character for the stream accounts to take control of. And now under abilities, I basically need to add every language. Because I forgot that was a thing.
Hey, I want to keep talking in Elvish and not have you see it.
Take care, Lizzie.
I want my privacy.
Exactly. I want to be able to talk in Primordial and not have anyone
Give me my
understand me.
privacy. Don't fucking touch me. Yeah, that was last stream, by the way. Fucking ran into that door. Oh shit! Don't touch me.
You know, I'll have the stream know any languages that you guys know. So
No.
I know
No.
an American. That's about it.
So languages that they are missing currently: Sylvan, Dwarvish.
Primordial.
Hey! Leave my fucking...
Gnomish.
Leave my Primordial alone!
I think someone knows Dwarvish. No, wait,
Yeah.
that was.
No, someone knows Dwarvish.
There's also probably Undercommon Arena.
Celestial.
Did someone say common?
I don't have
Undercommon.
Undercommon. I don't have
While,
Undercommon.
while we figure out the languages, I'm gonna go get some tea.
Oh, I
I'll
got
be
the
right
languages
back.
figured out, buddy.
Ah!
Alright, I'll just listen for the recap then.
As well within the prison cells, a dwarf who went by the name, let me double check the name here. Broldendar, one of the missing members of the Mirabar delegation. Upon returning to town with the commoners, travelers, merchants, the slaves, as well as Broldendar and our original 4, it was with You know, it's really difficult to do a recap when all I hear is clickety clack.
Yeah, fix your keycaps, dude. Oh no.
Alright, can I continue without clickety clack?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
No.
See, now I gotta remember exactly where I was going with the recap. God damn it.
He said the dude's name. That was it.
This is why I don't like open mic. Upon returning to town with the prisoners, the original four, and Broldendar, the rescue party, as well as the original four and the Mirabar delegation member, met up with their respective agents within Red Larch. Helia Hanadrome, the reporting agent for the Emerald Enclave, and Indrith Valavo, the reporting agent for the Harbors. Nadar, his spirits broken, was led away by Helia Hanadrome, with her final words being no more than a thank you to the entire group for everything that they had done. Miranir, choosing to head back off on his own, realizing that he was not strong enough for the things that he found himself facing. His final goodbye being to what had become one of his closest friends in a short amount of time, Corden. All that remained of the original group was Uthar and Corden. Chud Studley and Bolo choosing to go about their own ways. Mr. Studley realizing that he had many questions and concerns at Summit Hall to look into, and Bolo wanting to return to the simple life that he had left behind for this rescue mission, running what I believe was a dog sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
Sierra, Cammy, and Karina were all extended the same courtesy. They could return to their own homes, no longer need to continue. But if they so chose, their help would be greatly appreciated. With the three of them deciding to stay and provide any help that they could, our night ended in celebration. As our new group of 5 in Broldendar, as well as Indrith Valavo, all headed to the Helmet High Sun for a night full of drinks, food, merriment, and discussion. That is where we left off last week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say. And that is where we will pick up. Let me get you guys some fitting music for being in a tavern.
The Ariana Grande was pretty great. You missed it, Clay.
Did Ariana Grande start playing randomly?
She came on. She gave us a show.
Alright, well this VOD's fucked then.
Mm. Where are we currently
You
playing?
guys would be at the Helmet High Sun, the Tavern of Red Larch.
If I remember correctly, the townspeople always favor. Any
Yeah.
favor.
Thinking that I get a drink.
Many of the people that were rescued from the Earth Colts, some belonged here in Red Larch, some belonged in Westbridge, some belonged in Belliard. A few even mentioned having ties up in Tribor and Yartar. But the general consensus was that no matter where you might find yourselves or where you might go, if there was anything that any of them could ever do for you, you had their eternal gratitude, and they would provide as much as they possibly could.
Does that mean discounts on weapons and armor?
One example of this was that one of the people rescued was the daughter of the...
Yeah, the daughter of the blacksmith.
I believe it was... Let me check the name of it.
So we're in Red Larch right now, right?
The daughter of the proprietor of the Watchful Night Inn in Belliard.
Oh yeah, that's the one for free drinks, right?
She mentioned specifically that should you ever find yourselves in Belliard, that she is almost positive that her father would provide free room and board at the least.
Yeah.
So,
When did I say we
we start tonight
Belliard?
off with you guys in Red Larch, in the Helmet High Sun. There's drinks abounds. There's no cost for drinking tonight.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah.
There's no cost for the
Yeah,
food.
Corn getting brief.
Everything is either on the house or on Endrith, and by extension, the Harper's tab, for a successful recovery.
I'll take the strongest ale.
Hey, Garland.
I second
Get a
that.
drink over here.
Finest ale in the house, coming right up.
I'll take it.
Anyone not
I'll take an
drink?
L and a hearty dinner, please.
In recording.
So, let's see the drinks that you guys will get.
Cammy's gonna ask for
Oh, yeah,
hearty
on
meal,
to you, turn
mostly
on your
consisting of
screen,
fish
please,
if there's
screen.
possible. And I guess a strong ale because they're celebrating tonight.
Alright, so basically hearty
Yeah, Gordon
meals
really
with
needs
strong
one.
ales all around.
Yeah!
Are you rolling on your table to see what we get?
I'm pulling the actual, like, browser table up real quick. Because I have the names and everything in Fantasy Grounds, but not their descriptions.
Who's drinking first?
Corden is just... Yeah, he needs a big drink.
Okay.
With a stein as big as him. He just
I don't know
dumps
if
it. He takes a bath in it.
Yeah, the great thing about Corden is he can get away with... Because, you know, samples for him are about the size of a pint. So... But he might actually go with a pint. Maybe two. 2, 3, 4. really. Yeah.
Alright, let me see here.
Couple of months. Couple of
Huh?
months. Suddenly it's a Chinese themed bar. A mandolin?
Oh, where is the...
I don't know, Ond. Where is it?
My kid's factory.
So, Borderlands.
I had to say, alright, listen here, motherfucker.
You want me to pull it up?
No, no,
I
what I'm
believe
trying to...
there's a D100.
No, I have that. I'm trying to find my tavern food menu.
Oh,
Oh, your menu.
curds. Everyone just gets curds.
Curds and whey.
Said it was on the house. Make it up.
Excuse you, Cammy wants fish.
Fish with
Can we have-
rosemary.
Fish stew or curds and whey?
Fish.
Only fish? Raw fish.
Loves
Coordinate.
fish.
Yeah, coordinate.
I mean, I can't guarantee they have salmon.
She wants fish if it's preferable. If not, then meats.
Alright, you know what? This will work.
We got a carnivore in here.
This...
Mine are losing a fish.
We have a literal cat lady, yes.
Yes, I know.
This
but-
will work.
Pulling your leg, Common.
I know.
Alright.
Has there been any updates to the artwork?
No.
As far as the ales would come first. Food takes time to be prepared. So, who mentioned...
And we've already established Corden is going
Gordon
first.
is going first. Alright.
Yes. Give me the booze.
Give them
On,
the
do you need
six-
to fix your stream?
You said I need to fix my stream?
Oh yeah, you're on the wrong display.
Thank you.
Oh,
Starting screen. Starting.
Yeah, you're-
You officially haven't started. We're at 9/11, so
Alright, how about now?
The fun doesn't start until 9/11.
hold on. Give it a second.
yep, it's good.
15-second delay.
For you, I don't have that long.
Alright, so the first ale that comes out is for Corden. Corden, what's set down in front of you is an almost opaque purple ale. It has a very sweet aroma to it, but even just a light sip shows that it is very strong.
So it's a pale ale. I dig it.
Assuming it's an IPA.
That's not the IPA. Corden doesn't like IPA. Corden likes cider and pale ales.
As you begin to drink it, you notice that it's a bit of a thicker liquid, and it has a sweet taste, however, a slightly bitter aftertaste.
That's the worst, man.
It's apples.
And for now, I do not need anything from you.
Uh-oh.
For now.
Uh-oh. Okay.
For now. Who would be next up on the ale block?
I'll be joining my Harper buddy.
Okay. So both of the Harpers are gonna be drinking at the same time. Alright. So the ale that is brought out for Uthar
For buddies.
is a darker purple ale with what appears to be small silver bubbles emerging constantly.
Oh yeah, I'll take a drink. I ain't scared.
Alright, can I get you to give me a d4?
Oh.
That would be a 2. Watch it be like I grow horns or some shit like that.
Your hair
That'd be
falls
great.
off. Or is
That'd be
it way?
hilarious.
So you're saying you'll become a minotaur?
No.
It doesn't say where the horns grow.
And
Oh no! Oh no!
Uthar,
I think the definition of horn is on the head.
as you take a
Depends
large
which hand.
gulp of this ale, you find yourself suddenly, if only temporarily, for no more than a minute in total, on what appears to be an entirely different plane of existence.
Oh shit!
I immediately start taking notes.
You're there for, like I said, no more than a minute. However,
Is he proof out of existence in front
no,
of me?
he's still there. Just simply his
Oh, okay.
mind goes to a different plane of existence.
Okay, good.
Upon
So you mean it's ethereal bliss?
upon returning, you realize, maybe the mug is in a slightly different spot, or the others' mugs have arrived, things of that nature. But there's about 60 seconds that are kind of unaccounted for. However, you do have an epiphany. You begin to realize, in a sense, that the cults that you are currently tasked with investigating, while they are all worshipping different deities of a sort, the idea and thought process behind 4 different elemental lords walking the material plane at the same time is absolutely goddamn terrifying. And it begins to make very clear and perfect sense that should even one of them actually be physically brought to the material plane, it could spell disaster, if not the end of the world. If more than one were to be brought to the material plane, the war that they might get into amongst themselves would for sure destroy the material plane before they even had a chance to try to do anything to it themselves.
Yeah, I'll keep that to myself. Now is not the time or place.
Alright, the next one on the drinking list.
I'll do it.
Cammy.
Alright, so
Oh,
Cammy,
shit.
Cammy and Karina
Cammy
at the
can
same
go.
time.
All right.
I'll go.
All 3 at
Alright,
the same
so
time.
all 3
Fuck
women
it.
at the same time.
Hey.
Alright.
Who does want to take the first one? Then?
Gordon has
We're
finished
going all at the
his
same time. What do you mean?
Okay.
I'll go in the
Alright.
order that people spoke up. No, all of you at the same time.
Yeah.
So Karina, then Cammy, then Sarah. Karina, what is sat down in front of you is
Oh, he dared to approach me.
what appears to be a almost ruby-like colored ale.
Ooh.
As you take a sip, you get hints of bramble, blackberry, boysenberry, Don Cherie, frankenberry flourishes. It's very,
Yay, berries.
it is very delicious.
You could say it's very delicious.
Oh my god, drink.
Stop. Drink.
You also get the feeling that this ale, which you now feel... Is it? Ryan, thank you for the heads up. Let me turn on my preview. Oh yeah, it is. God damn it, why is that showing? One second. So I need to actually fix this.
Sorry to pause the game real quick.
Yeah, no, you're good. I do need to get this fixed.
Throw a test roll. See if it shows up.
Now, is it going to change on my side when I switch back over to GM? No. Alright. There. Now, once the stream updates, it should be showing from the player side.
Yep. Looks okay.
Yep, looks like my screen.
Alright, do
Alright.
continue.
Thank you for the heads up on that.
Yeah, I switched over the stream and I saw it. And I'm like,
Thank you for the heads up. That was not. It was should not have been showing the GM side. Karina, you also get the idea that this is slightly less of an ale, more similar to a wine of sorts. And you get the idea that it would be an ideal companion for the manic depressed.
Oof.
The wine also shows promise to last longer than your belief in an afterlife.
No.
As you take a large gulp, can I get a con save from you?
Saving throw.
12.
12.
If you don't use it,
For the next...
Hello?
Can I get you to give me a d6?
Which one?
Oof.
Oh, great. This sounds like the first time I had was drinking with Karina.
The next on the list was Cammy. And I'm seeing a theme here.
all the twos.
What does that mean?
What's sat down in front of you, Cammy, is a orange color mixed with streaks of deep red, as far as the liquid is concerned.
Yeah, Cammy's gonna take a hearty chug of that.
Okay. It has a strong sugary and fruity flavor that borders on the sensation of formation. And it's most likely the strongest drink you've ever had in your life. Can I get you to give me a D6?
Yeah.
Hey.
Alright, and can I now get you to give me 5 Constitution saving throws?
Unsafe. One.
Pretty solid. Oh shit. Oh shit.
One more.
Oh,
Perfect.
Oh no.
Perfect.
Perfect. Oh
I
lordy.
shouldn't have said anything, guys.
Alright, so...
I was waiting for a 1.
Nat 1.
For up to the next 6 hours, you are affected with a strong sense of paranoia.
Oh god.
God.
Can I ask what would happen if I... Did I pass the other force?
You have to pass all
It's
5
over.
to avoid the paranoia.
Okay, I was
was
gonna
a-
say what happens if all
it was-
5
it was
all
a
5
DC 10.
don't pass. Yeah, I was gonna ask what happens if I don't pass a single one of them,
paranoia.
You die.
but just for 6 hours, or would it be for longer?
Uh,
No, it's 5 at the moment.
well,
No, it is 6. You're right.
so it's 6 hours of paranoia per failed check.
Oh, holy shit.
Oh my,
Oh my god.
Minimum of 1 check, maximum of 6 checks.
That's beautiful.
Oh, hence the D6. Right.
Oh,
That's amazing.
And
Okay.
the next one on the list
Cammy now thinks everyone's gonna still.
was Santa.
Hey, Catelyn, how's the drink?
Ah. Yeah, Cav's just gonna back away from you and probably get up into the rafters.
no
Drink in
looking.
hand still.
You'll
Drink
wait.
still in hand.
And look at Uthar, huh? The cat, maybe.
Discord, why are you doing this to me?
I don't know if I said something wrong. Like, looks scared. Looks scared of me. 3 feet
I don't
tall.
think. I just don't think she can handle her drink.
Don't worry, she just likes it up there.
Roll perception.
Hey, Cammy, you feeling all boxed in?
Cammy's gonna hiss. That you?
Yeah, I don't think she can handle.
Yeah.
The drink's still in her hand, by the way.
You rolled a natural 20. Perception. I should have rolled insight, actually.
It's
So,
good enough.
Sarah, the drink that is sat down in front of you
Ooh.
is a golden fizzing, and you notice even a few what appears to be sparkles emanating from the drink.
Are they magical sparkles?
Not that you can tell. It's very bubbly, and even a small sip reveals that it is a little sweet. And as you take a large gulp of it, you start to see the same sparks emanating from the drink, now just kind of all around you. Occasionally, about 1 in 20 of them even appearing to be real sparks. And I don't need anything from you at the moment either.
Oof.
Oof.
So let me set those both aside for Sierra and Karina to come back to them later. As far as the food, I'd say as the five of you get about halfway through your respective ales, the food would be brought out. What is brought out? For Cammy, there is a large plate of what appears to be steamed shellfish with cinnamon and dragon fruit pie. For everyone else, it was the tavern's specialty of tonight, which consisted of braised deer with coriander, onion, and also what you believe to be cashew bread. Overall, all of the food looks very delicious, and it looks like it's just kind of fresh out of the kitchen kind of thing. Like, this is all very hot, very fresh.
Corn just scarfs his food down, not even looking at stomach.
Yeah, Cammy's gonna swipe the tray up to the rafters with her.
Okay.
Yeah, Uther's going to eat as well.
Okay.
You'll also notice that, like, with Uther, he's rubbing, like, his shoulder and arm a lot, as if it's irritated.
Yeah. Oh, are you okay there?
Yeah, it's just itches for some reason.
No, okay.
Probably wants to kill my fish.
I will chow my food and try to maintain as I see sparks in front of my face.
Yeah. As everyone is enjoying their food and the ales that have been provided, Indrith and Broldendar are sitting next to each other, and they've been having a bit of a conversation, talking back and forth, and eventually looking towards the five of you. They would bring you into the conversation in full. As Broldendar begins to speak up enough that the five of you can all hear.
Must be pretty loud because Cammy's up in
minus
the
Cammy.
rafters.
Cammy is the only one that can't easily
Perception
hear.
check for Cammy.
Well, I need to roll a perception.
If you wanted to hear it from up there.
She's paranoid as heck right now. Of course she would want to hear what he's saying. Okay.
I'm not hearing shit.
It's too
Okay.
loud. It's too loud in here. All the voices, the music from the bard, it's just too loud to hear anything from up there.
Too paranoid to even hear. Well.
You paranoid confirmed?
So, I wanted to personally thank the three of you, as he points towards Sarah, Karina, and then looking around, and then as somebody, points up and he looks up towards Cammy, he nods up towards Cammy. I wanted to thank the three of you personally for getting me out of that shithole, and looking over towards you two, Cord and Uthar. And I wanted to thank the two of you for investigating myself and the rest of the delegation's disappearance. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to see that you were caught up in it the same way we were, and I am sorry about your other two companions.
It's alright. They're alive.
But Uthar and Gordon, we went over this while in the prison cells. There wasn't much else to talk about, but I feel Sarah and Cammy and Karina deserve to know as well. When our delegation was ambushed south of Belliard, most of our guards were slain. The Earth Cult and their captives were all ferried across the Dasan River. Apparently, pirates who received my books as payments. However, somewhere within the Somber Hills, while they were taking us back to their fucking temple or whatever the hell it was, these bandits flying on giant vultures ambushed not only us, but the Earth Cult. Unfortunately, Desinia Norvel, one of the other delegation members, was taken by them. The rest of us were all brought to that god-awful monastery. I was put to work in the mines, but Rundorth and Terrasil, the other two members of the delegation, I believe were taken further below.
So we have to go back.
If you're looking to recover all of the delegation members,
Or the chances are still alive. Slim, I would suppose.
It's a slim chance, but it's entirely possible. If they kept me alive, if they kept you alive, I don't see why they would kill the delegation.
Would we have overheard anything while we were in the cells, like what they were going to do with us? Anything about upcoming plans they had while we were in the cell for like 2 weeks?
Let's see. Can I get both of you, Uthar and Corden, to give me a history check? Try and recall as much information as you can.
Oof.
Gordon's death.
So, the only things you might have heard... Let me pull this up here. You would both remember mentions of a Marlos and Mirage, as well as a third name, Yarsha. All three of these names were mentions in brief passing, and they were spoken with pure regard, indicating that whoever those three are, they are at the pinnacle of the Black Earth.
Yeah, we gotta watch out for Marlos, Mirage, and Martian.
Yarsha.
According According to the members, they seem to think they're at the top, I believe.
Yeah. Well, as much as I love the absolute wonderful hosts that we had, not really wanting to pay him a visit, but I still feel like we should. But this booze is really good. I'm kind of conflicted. What do you think, Uta?
I think if we do go back, we just look for information and don't go any deeper than we already were.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Alright. What do you guys think? Sound like a good idea to you? I mean, you guys have been as deep as we have. So,
Sierra, Karina.
they all passed out.
Excuse you, Cammy is bad at hearing.
Oh,
Cammy can't hear any of this. Karina and Sierra are
Oh.
the only ones that could realistically respond to you.
Karina's just contemplating at the moment.
Same.
Both of them seem to kind of be lost in thought.
We can always discuss this in the morning.
yeah, let's do this in the morning. Corn's gonna drink a lot of water.
See, I'm still seeing shit, so
Oh. Corn
I
wouldn't
just-
remember that Caddy had Catlin.
You said Cordon's gonna
But,
drink a lot of water.
Yeah. Roll to pee.
No,
It just happens.
that just naturally happens.
Happens while you're sitting in your chair. There we go.
And the pee is opalescent as well.
Roldanthar, now speaking up again. Based on what Endrith here has told me and the information that we've gathered from now the five of you, it seems what I thought were bandits on giant vultures may actually be a different cult entirely, which tells me that if a different cult has one of the delegation members, if the Black Earth kept me alive, they're more inclined. I can't imagine that they would kill the other two that they have further below. However, this other cult we know little on. So, your best bet might be to try and gather information on them and seek them out and see if you can rescue her.
20 gold says then one of the other four. Just
If we investigate the Earth place thoroughly, just on the above ground, because they were at odds with each other, so there might be a journal or a diary or something of the sort.
yeah, if they was flying on vultures too, I mean we could
Yeah, and they were fighting
stay
each
there
other.
for a couple of days till we see birds flying.
Whatever methods or means you use, the investigation is obviously left up to the five of you.
I'm almost more inclined the air place.
Indrith
The air temple.
would reach into his pouch and he would pull out a small scroll. Seconds.
Utha.
Yeah,
You thinking which one should we go through?
I think we should revisit Earth just to find information. Don't really
Alright.
need to go underground.
Yeah, sounds good.
He would produce
Plus we got most.
2 scrolls actually. As he slides both scrolls across the table over towards you, Uthar.
What?
I look at them.
These are a set of scrolls that I found for a particular spell. You can choose to study the spell if you would like, or just simply use the scrolls as they are. I leave that up to you, but who knows when you may come across a locked door, huh?
It's a scroll of unlock, I guess.
Scroll of knock.
Knock, yeah, that's it.
2 of them, actually.
I'll give the other one to Cordon. These will be useful.
Well, what is it?
To let you unlock doors magically. But at the risk of everyone hearing it.
Echo always wanted to do this.
If you
What spell is
It
this?
is the
I'd like-
it's the knock spell. So basically, it's a 2nd level transmutation,
Oh.
1 action, instantaneous. Choose an object that you can see within range. The object can be a door, a box, a chest, a set of manacles, a padlock, or any other object that contains a mundane or magical means that prevents access. A target that is held
second level?
shut by a mundane lock or that is stuck or barred becomes unlocked, unstuck, or unbarred. If the object has multiple locks, only one of them is unlocked.
And it's a 2nd level?
It's a 2nd level transmutation spell. But using a spell scroll, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I'll take the scroll.
Yeah, if the spell is on your class's spell list, then you don't have any
Golden.
difficulties casting it. The only difficulty becomes if it is not on your class's spell. If it's on your class's spell list but of a higher level than you can normally cast, you need to make an ability check.
Yeah.
The knock
And
spell,
I think it's only on the
I
wizard.
believe,
It's only on the wizard spell
yeah,
book.
the knock spell is wizard only.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn that in my spell book.
So both of you would be able to use the scrolls very easily without concern, or you can choose to invest, I believe it is 50 gold,
Get 50 in an hour.
50 in an hour.
I don't think I have 50 gold. Let me see.
Corn does.
Oh, I got 59. I'm not doing it today. No. I'm just
Does
gonna
that
hold on
unlock?
to it.
I mean, I could spend my gold, because, I mean, you're the healer.
Yeah, I
only
wouldn't have it prepared anyway, so.
3 2nd level spells. But I have Hold Person, Mirror Image, and Misty Step. Yeah, I think I could get rid of Misty Step. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll take an hour and put it in my spell book.
Okay. So you're going to learn it.
Yep.
So we will remove the scroll from your
And I'll take the
inventory.
50 gold out,
Yep, you can subtract 50 gold,
so it'll be 22 gold now instead of 72.
and then scroll of knock, spell knock, and
So that way, if we need to cast it multiple times, I can just stamp it
there you
out.
go. I've added it to your spell list. You can
Thank you.
choose to prepare it, unprepare a spell, or do whatever.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
I gotta remember.
the rest of the night would go by, I won't say uneventful, but nothing major happens. You guys can feel free to have as much conversation as you would like, talk about your plans, things of that nature, And when you're ready to proceed, we will.
I want to discuss something with Indrith.
Okay.
I want to get him to appraise one ring, and I want to sell the other ring.
Okay.
So I want him to appraise the ring of fire resistance, and then I want to sell the silver ring set with rubies to him.
Okay.
I forget we had that.
Yee.
You know, I can identify.
No, it's mostly because I want to see how much he's gonna give me for the ring of fire resistance.
Alright, so the silver ring set with rubies, and then you want him to appraise the ring of fire resist. Yeah, as you set down both rings in front of him as he begins to look at them. He is, in all honesty, fascinated with the ring of fire resistance. Let's see here. Trying to move stuff out of the way on my desk. I haven't had to use my actual dice in so long.
Yee.
Oh, there we go. For a ring such as this, it would take me the better part of the night to put it all together, but I would be willing to pay 2,500 gold for it.
See, now here's the part where I have to think. 2,500 gold or resistance to fire.
Hey Clay,
Yes, sir.
can I remove any level of spell and add a different level of spell in? So if I wanted to remove a first level and add a second, could I do that?
You could unprepare a first level and prepare a second, yes.
Awesome. Sweet, thank you.
I'm gonna choose to keep the ring of fire resistance.
Okay. But you do want to sell the silver ring?
Yeah.
Okay. Given that the circumstances that you're in, the silver ring set with rubies, he would give you the full value of it, which would be 600
Yeet.
gold.
Yay,
I will-
632
I was
gold.
gonna say, I will let you decide whether or not you will keep that 600 gold for yourself or split it with the party.
I will give 75 to everyone else.
75 to everyone else. Alright, so... 1, 2, 3... Alright, so you...
Now, how do you hand it to Cammy?
300.
If you do hand it to Cammy.
I'm gonna call for you loudly. Come down here, money.
So you see Cammy stuffed with her base full of, what was it, clam chowder I think it was?
Steamed
I
shellfish.
have no clue.
Steamed shellfish.
Shellfish.
She stuffed her face full of it, and she just shakes her head. Mm-mm-mm.
You don't
And-
want your money.
Are you like, is the money in the hand and you're reaching it out?
Yes. Well, I don't know if I can hold 75 gold pieces in my hand.
Well, you know what I mean.
I cut my hands and there we go.
If you like cupped in your hands holding it up.
Yes.
Yeah, Cammy's gonna hard hesitate on that. Hold on, let me
Alright, I've updated everyone's
roll this, see
sheets,
what it is.
including yours, Cammy, assuming that you eventually take the 75.
Cammy's not gonna take the 75.
Okay, never mind.
Oof.
She's just gonna hiss and stay up in the rafters.
Alright,
She's still paranoid.
So paranoid.
so...
And I'm still shitting shit.
Now you have 407 in Sec Arena.
Yep.
Alright, anyone else got anything they want to do this evening?
I think I'm good.
Indrith,
Yes?
can I talk to you somewhere private, please?
Sure. As Indrith begins to stand up, gesturing to, step outside.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Everyone would watch as Indrith and Uthar stepping outside.
I kind of like take him like around the corner.
Okay.
My skin was acting up while I was in prison, and I'm going to show him like my skin. It had like a green shade to it on my shoulder, about down to my elbow and around my neck. What do you make of this? I don't know what's going on. I tried cure wounds, nothing worked.
That is interesting. Fascinating, I believe, could be one word for it. What do you know about your parents?
They're just simple farmers, as far as I know. I know my father did some work with the Harpers. My mother stayed at home.
Yes, I know of your father, but your mother is a different story. He sort of reaches his hand out, touching, your shoulder. Have you actually felt this yet?
No?
Touch it.
Yeah, I'll touch it.
You notice that it doesn't feel like skin. It feels almost like scales.
What do you make of it? Feels like scales to me.
I've only seen this a handful of times, but the most logical thing that I can think of, and as a scholar, it's the only way to think. I'm thinking that maybe your mother wasn't as much of a simple person as she let on. It's entirely possible that your study of magic, well, it's possible that you were born with magic running through your blood.
And my study of magic just enhanced it.
It's entirely possible. Could have also been any sort of traumatic experience, could have awakened the magic within you. Whatever the case may be, I would keep a close eye on your own abilities for now. See if anything feels different in the coming days. And if it shows to be a major concern, don't hesitate to let me know.
Very well. I'll stay in touch.
Good. In the meantime, I'll see what information I can find on it myself.
Yeah, I'll walk back inside with him when he's ready to go.
As you're both heading back towards the door, before stepping in, do be careful out there. If your body is changing, you don't know how it may react if you find yourself in another traumatic experience.
I'll try and keep it under control.
Fantasy puberty.
that. Does Karina, Corden, or not Karina, does Corden or Cammy have anything they would like to do this evening?
Nope.
Cam is just currently gonna hide for, well, probably until most of the paranoia goes away.
Would I be able to attune to my Ring of Fire resistance?
Yes. Only takes an hour.
Yeah, well, I don't know exactly how attunement works. I've never done it before.
You just take an hour to attune
Yeah.
to it. That's it.
You just basically
Unless
Easy
it's
enough.
cursed.
you essentially with attunement, what you do is you take an hour and sitting down and physically holding whatever you are trying to attune to. You sort of meld your minds with the item.
So, yeah. Karina's just gonna sit there in her chair and stare at the Ring of Fire resistance in her hand.
Yeah. Essentially, you have to spend an hour focused on only that item while being in physical contact with it. This can't be the same short rest used to learn the item's properties. This focus can take the form of a weapon practice for a weapon, meditation for a wondrous item, or some other appropriate activity. If the hour is interrupted, the attunement fails. So this would be something that you would, do, maybe an hour before going to sleep kind of thing, indicating a long rest.
Yeah.
You're in your room and everything is all settled and ready and you're getting ready to go to sleep, and you would, spend an hour just kind of holding the ring, focused on it, meditating, things like that.
So Karina's gonna be like, yeah, I'm going to go to sleep. I have things I need to do. And then she's just gonna head up to one of the rooms. First, how much for night stay?
Free.
Well, I'm gonna go to a room and get my attunement going.
Okay. Everyone else gonna go ahead and call it an evening?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, Cammy's gonna call an evening in the rafters.
Yeah.
Alright. As you guys all drift off to sleep, let me go ahead and hit that long rest button. And Corden,
Oh
can I
no.
get that con save now?
No. Luckily, I have a shit ton of constitution. Oh,
Yep,
it's-
same here with Cammy.
Oh,
Luckily, I'm shit at rolling dice tonight.
Oof.
You call that a
Cammy
lot of
would have passed
constitution.
that.
I would have passed.
Corn drank a lot of water though, so I feel like he should get advantage.
Plus advantage?
You would wake up
Oh no.
the next morning, even with the amount of water that you drink, you are still fairly hungover. A lot of the events of the previous night are kind of fuzzy. You don't remember too much. You remember learning a new spell, you remember lots of drinking, lots of food. You somewhat recall Uthar and Indrith stepping outside for a moment. You remember Cammy hissing at you at one point, but that's about it.
I like to think the only thing I like to think I don't remember the spell being there. I just see it there in my book and be like, what the shit? Uta, what the? I got a new spell. Somebody wrote in my book.
yeah, you did. You were studying before you went to bed.
Takes a second look. Wait, this is my hand. This is my handwriting, Uta. What happened last
Uther
night?
Uther gave us a scroll, and you decided to learn it in your spellbook.
He kind of pinches the top of his nose, like, oh, I have to send some of the coin back to my. Why did I do that?
And
What's up?
would hungover count as a poison condition?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll walk over to Corden and cast Lesser Restoration on him.
Okay.
Yay!
Carrying the hungoverness.
Thank you. Oh, that's so much better.
Yeah, the slight headache that you had begins to fade away, and you begin to feel a lot better.
Where's the rest of the crew? I'm assuming we should,
We'll probably just beat him down the lobby.
alright. Let's
Karina
get
just
going, man.
leaves
Let's
her room as
that's a lot.
Karina leaves her room as they're walking, admiring her new ring.
Hey, Karina.
She'll nod to Corden and just keep walking back down towards the lobby.
Guess we'll head on down.
Yeah, let's just get some breakfast and wait for the others. I have an actual
nothing?
hangover remedy that works.
Uthar's magical hangover cure.
Magical.
Literally.
Yeah, literal magic. Yeah, no, as all of you would step downstairs to obtain some breakfast.
Goes for some nice toast.
There's toast. Yes. There's
Toast with some
let's say
jam.
the special on the menu today.
Can I have a pancake McGriddle?
No.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god.
Stop.
Yo, can I have the breakfast deluxe?
Can I get 2 number 9s? A number 9 large.
God damn it, Smoke.
A number 9 with extra dip.
I wish I could go back and replay San Andreas and not want to kill myself because of how the game looks.
The game looks so bad. It did not age
No,
well.
it did not. It did not age well at all.
Nope.
Didn't I have a thing? Oh. No, I had toast.
The specialty on the menu for this morning, the tavern typically will run a special from morning until dinner time and then a special for dinner. Though it is rarely, entirely breakfast themed, the special on the menu for the first half of the day is steamed carp with dried lime, and it is coupled with a glass of just standard ordinary wine.
Give me some of that.
Yeah, I'll take that, but replace
That
the
sounds
wine
good.
with water.
If you don't like carp, get the fuck out of here.
I'll take it with the wine.
Yeah, Cammy's just gonna be sulking in the rafters where she slept.
You feeling better, Cammy?
Why would I feel better?
You were looking over your shoulder every 5 seconds. That's
Hey,
why.
you were freaking out.
This is exactly why I don't drink.
And why did you drink? No one forced you to drink it.
It was a celebration. Oh my
just
god,
gave
my
it to me
accent.
like you did last time.
Uthar, you would have woken up noticing that the
You're fine, drink. Go ahead.
scale-like portions on your shoulder had progressed from your shoulder down your entire left arm, and there's even a few of the scales now on the top of your hands.
In a day?
It's progressive.
It is progressing.
Progressive.
Progressive.
Oh no.
You could save 15% or more on your car insurance.
Oh god.
I knew it was going
I was
there.
waiting for it.
Yep.
I knew it was going there, yeah.
Too bad you got the wrong
Sorry,
insurance
you
company.
can
on
save
that one.
15% or more on your wagon insurance.
There we go.
Still wrong insurance company.
Yeah.
I know. It's still a good me.
As you guys all enjoy your food this morning, not much is happening in Red Larch at this point. Indrith isn't seen here. Very likely he's back at his shop. Not a whole lot to go on here at the moment. It's entirely left to you guys to do what you want when you want.
So our options were go back to the Earth Temple,
Look for information on the other cults.
look for other information.
Wander
and then
around.
What was our other ones?
Just wander around and, or go straight to the Wind place and find information on them.
Okay.
Well, we don't know exactly where the wind one's located. You said there's 4 keeps, so obviously
Well,
we need to check
Yeah.
those. But
We
Pick
know
the
where
one.
the water one is.
well, obviously that's one that we can stay away from because that's not the one we're looking for at the
So,
moment.
because this information was gained so long ago, I'm going to forcibly bring it back up so that you can now start putting the pieces together for those that were part of the original crew, be Uthar and Corden. You remember visiting a barren hilltop a few miles from Red Larch, where 4 freshly dug shallow graves were. From the top of this hilltop, you had a good view of the surrounding hills. Several miles to the west of that hilltop, you could make out the tiny outline of Red Larch in the thin, dark line marking the long road. Where several miles to the north, you could see a slender old tower within the somber hills, circled by large birds.
Oh shit. We know which one it is.
Well, at least you 2 do. The
Yeah.
other 3 don't.
Yeah, Uta.
Make
We actually.
There
we
was
visited
that tower.
Yeah.
what city would that be near?
I think it was off on its own.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it?
It was in the hills near where you guys had come from, like the rest
Okay.
of the operation.
Remember the birds that were flying around it? We thought nothing about it.
Anyway. Oh.
So we at least have a general location of possibility.
Yeah. Want to check there out or go back?
Sounds worth exploring.
I say we get closer, but keep a safe distance from the place,
Alright.
and stay under cover of trees and stuff because they do like.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Yes, let's stay out of ambushes and traps.
Alright. It's
Easier said than done, but let's at least try.
Caitlin here. Caitlin.
Hmm?
You coming? She's still up in the rafters, right?
Yeah, she's still up in the rafters.
Yeah. She was sulking and grieving from how she acted last night. Guess I'll go.
Yeah. Awesome. That everyone. Sierra, Caitlin, Karina, and Uthas here.
By the way, I was acting as Cammy as a. I'm not sure if picked up my mic. I said
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. I guess yeah, we'll head on.
All right. So you guys are gonna make your way out towards that tower that you saw, or you're gonna head back to the Earth Cult.
I'm assuming
feel
it's
like-
down.
How are we going to
What do the others want to do? Do you guys want to look for information of the other cults at the Earth place, or do you just want to go straight to the tower?
Write in chat your votes.
Let's pick one.
Say Earth or Tower.
Oh shit!
must
Write it in
choose.
comment. Jesus Christ.
All right. So we have
Last one.
Majority rules.
Yeah, it's already
Yeah, it's already
chosen.
decided. Even if I say
3
something.
for tower.
Oh, whoops.
He
No.
technically said
Oh,
1.
goodness.
Yeah, so 3 for tower. All right. So you guys want to head for the tower first, which works. The tower, you actually
Yeah.
pass by the tower on the way to the Earth Cult anyway.
Right. So
Yeah, we'll wipe out the air cold on our way there.
And we're
I'm not-
we're doing our
eager to go
best
back
to
to
like
that temple
stay
anyways.
under trees and out of sight of aerial vision.
Well, we'll get to that in just a second.
That's why I said try.
I'll just do it. What way?
Huh?
What?
What?
Who?
Huh?
Giggity?
Manny?
Can other people say giggity? No.
No.
Alright.
Do it.
Oh, right.
Do it.
So it would take a little
Do
over a day for you guys
Kill him now.
to make it near where the tower was. You can see it from relatively far off.
Yep.
And as you begin to approach, a little, just slightly over a day later,
We lost Byron.
did we?
Heyo.
Welcome back.
Why,
Like
thank
who?
you, Discord. I did not tell you to update, but he decided to do it anyway.
That's unfortunate.
Congrats.
That's unfortunate.
Discord for you.
Anyways, on. Go ahead.
As you would begin to approach the area where the tower is, a little over a day outside of Red Larch, you notice that the azure sky encompasses the tower, and gusty winds appear to buffet it from all sides. The wind sighs through rock formations in the canyons in the area. As you get a little closer to a point now where you can see just how large this tower is, you can see that the spire appears to float among what looks to be the stars on a sea of clouds. As it rises from a pillar of rock high into the air, the tallest point for miles, built from white limestone and embellished in marble, the spire resembles a gleaming sword that pierces the sky. The gatehouse faces the opposite cliff, its drawbridge the only apparent point of entry. Tall, wide windows encompass the bottom level of the tower, absent only upon the gatehouse side, while a circle of open stalls rings the tower's foundation where it meets the rock. Above each stall, the sculpture of a hippogriff in flight leaps from its tower's base, and beneath it, to the east, a wide, gusty canyon yawns through the hills.
You want to stealthily be in the trees? Any trees around?
Not a tree for miles.
Shit.
Are there like any rock ledges we could use for cover?
There's a few.
Hey, any of you guys know minor illusion? I can go up in the fields, pretend to be like a rock or something.
I'm moving the rock. I'll spot.
Or just the grass around us. I can make it look like the grass around us, where it's essentially invisible, but takes a second to cast. I don't know if I'd be able to move it.
Does blur count?
Blood? I don't have that spell in my spell book, sorry.
You.
I'm talking about me.
Oh,
Hold on. What was the question there?
Does blur count as slight invisibility?
No.
No. Oh.
No, not for that sense. There's an actual invisibility spell.
Okay.
You do notice a gap of 20 feet separates the ledge where the path ends from the closed drawbridge on the spire. The space between the cliff's edge and the gatehouse drops several hundred feet to the bottom of the canyon. Near the ledge, you can see what appears to be a small brass bell that hangs from a wooden post.
that bell looks like an alarm. Anyone else see it?
I don't think ringing it is gonna help us.
Yeah. Well, what's the plan? I mean, we know they're bad guys. Attack us on sight. They already threatened to kill us once.
That bell might get them to open up the door, though. Lower the
Also alert
bridge.
everyone that's around.
Or find a way up to the top of the tower. How tall do you think that thing is anyway?
How big is the bell, by the way?
It's very small. You could
I doubt.
you could very easily pick it up and ring it, kind of thing.
I mean, how tall is the tower?
It's big.
Unless that bell is magical, I
It's
doubt
like
it'll
50
alert
feet?
everyone.
100 feet?
One second.
Because I've got Misty Step.
Oh, I can do that too.
Misty Step jumps.
So Misty Step can cross gap.
Yes.
And teleport.
I wasn't sure how much of a teleporter was.
It has a range.
Description of it. Teleport.
Yeah, I know there's a range, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's like.
It's only within visible sight, correct?
Well, no, the spell itself specifically mentions you teleport up to 30 feet.
Okay. Yeah, that's making sure.
If it says 30 feet, that's your maximum. So long as you have that 30 feet in vision, then you can go up to 30 feet. The tower itself, you can hazard a guess and say that it is roughly about a 500-foot tall building.
Damn.
Are there
Yeah,
any
probably.
windows?
Not on
That's a good
the
question.
ground floor.
How
What
far
up
up is
above?
the nearest?
Mm, maybe 100 feet up.
That's pretty far up.
Well, if they don't want to open up, I got knocked. Knock on the door.
You, someone could ring the bell and run back here, and I can provide cover for everyone. Just ring the bell
I
and see
can
what
ring the bell.
happens.
Minor illusion that I'm not even there. Ding dong dish 'em. And if I get in trouble, Misty step out.
Sounds like it would work.
This spell will only last 10 minutes, so
But if I ring the bell, they're gonna be on guard. So we can either take them by surprise or knock on the literal front door.
I just want to see what happens when we ring the bell.
Okay, I'll go ring the bell.
Let's ring the bell.
How far away is it where we currently are?
Where you are currently out of sight, it's about 50 feet.
Corn's
Okay,
gonna
so-
try and ring the bell. But first, he's
I'm-
gonna do a perception check, see if there's anything watching.
Sure. Give me a perception.
Yeah.
Rolling perception.
As he goes out, I'm gonna cast Silent Image
Nat 20.
and have it be like the terrain.
Motherfucker!
Oh, you got it.
I see everything.
Yeah, you don't see anything that would indicate people watching you.
Yeah.
Corn's spreading out in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Here's
I'm
what
gonna
we
cast
got.
Silent Image now.
Okay. And what are you using Silent Image to do?
Make it look like the terrain and hide the whole group.
Okay. So you're hiding everyone except for Corden, who is ringing the bell.
Corden. Yeah.
Corden, as you walk up to the bell, reaching up and taking it off of the little wooden post that it hangs from, and ring the bell. About 2 seconds later,
Minor illusion.
you would see what appears to be a small gap in the wall, about 20 feet across to the tower, would open up, and you would immediately see a female human on the other side. Who immediately calls out, "Welcome to Feathergill Spire. May I ask what your reason for visit is to..." She starts looking around, assuming you casted minor illusion to,
Uh-huh.
It's odd. Maybe the wind blew the bell. Oh well. Shuts the little gap.
Holy fuck, that's a big spider. I'll be right back.
I was gonna say, I thought he saw something we didn't. I'm like, what the fuck?
For shits and giggles, Corn's gonna ring the bell again, right as she closes the door.
Once again, the little gap opens up. "Welcome to Feathergill Spire. May I ask what's your reason for..." I really need to get someone to fix that bell so that it doesn't ring every time the wind hits it. Shuts the gap again.
Did she
that's
go
good
away?
information.
You said, did she go away?
Yeah.
You don't know if she's still behind the door or not. She closed the little gap again.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna step out of the illusion and pantomime like shrug, and point at the door, and do like hand gestures and stuff. Like I don't know. Like, do we go in? Kind of like gesture, like, hey.
You literally can't see us right now.
I know you guys are there though.
I'm like,
You're supposed to be chanting a spell. Corn's pretty dang intelligent.
yeah, I'm just gonna wait for you to come back.
Okay. He's gonna sprint his chubby little tummy over there.
So, what happened?
Oh, I got this cool bell out of it.
Other than the bell.
I mean, the lady popped out and said, "Hello, welcome to the Spire," and then I rang the bell again when she closed the door, and she thought it was the wind blowing the bell. So, nothing.
So you think they'll just let us in?
I don't know. Good try.
Maybe we could say we're just travelers looking for shelter for the day.
Okay, I'm back. I got it.
Yay! That's a big spider.
Yeah, that's a big spider.
Holy shit! Do you see that spider?
Oh my lord.
It was on your screen.
It was on my screen.
Wait,
That's why I saw it.
where did you post this?
In
This
Princeton
is
Gate,
a
I think.
Foxflips.
Oh God.
No.
The fuck do you do? Live in Australia?
No, that's not even near Australia levels.
That's not it. No,
Hey,
no.
Night 5150. I just saw. Thanks for the
It's not
follow.
that
If you're
fancy.
still in the chat, man.
That is a baby Australian spider.
Mhm.
Anyways,
You think?
what did I miss?
He rang the bell. A little, like, slide peephole opened. Lady talked.
It was 20 feet wide.
Yeah,
He trolled her pretty much.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you just want to go into the guise of travelers looking for shelter? See if they'll let us in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well.
No,
Good
because
show.
we've already.
My
Yeah.
understanding is they seem nice enough since they came out and greeted us.
Let's just ring the bell a third time and stab whoever comes out in the face.
And let's not troll the person
Let's
this time.
not do that and see what they have to say first.
Ah, we're gonna die. Okay.
Watch, they have archers on top of the tower.
Oh god.
Yeah, I'll drop the silent image.
Okay.
Alright, let's
Maybe,
walk
let's
over there and ring the bell. And remember, we're just travelers.
Yeah. Gordon rings the bell,
As,
but before he does, he says, "One of you charismatic people, you do the talking."
as you ring the bell, once again, you see the little gap in the wall open. It's just big enough where you can, see the face basically of the person behind it. Once again, now all of you see this female human, and as the gap opens up, looking out towards where the bell is, where the five of you are. Welcome to Feathergill Spire. May I ask your reason for visit today?
We're just looking for the shelter for the day.
I see. Is there any specific destination that you're trying to reach?
You said on the map it was north of Red Larch?
Yeah. Well, it's north of where the shallow graves were, so this is kind of like northwest of Red Larch.
Yeah, we're headed to Westbridge right now.
I see. One moment. I believe that we have a few spare rooms that we can provide for a night's rest. I just need to double check on that. In the meantime, here, let me get the Bridge Lord for you. It'll be a lot easier to talk versus with how it is now. You see the gap close, and after a few brief moments, the drawbridge begins to lower. And you can see that the drawbridge crosses about a 20-foot gap, which leads to the base of the spire.
Yeah, I'll whisper to Cord. I'm like, that was easier than I thought it would be.
As the five of you cross the drawbridge towards the main door, the door opens and you come face to face with the same female human who had opened the little gap previously. Let me see here. Unfortunately, I don't have like an image or anything for her. But she introduces herself. My name is Savra Billabranta. Once again, I welcome you to Feathergill Spire. We do have a few spare beds that we can lend for the evening, though you'll need to speak with the Lord Commander first before we can get you squared away for the evening. The timing is impeccable. I'm sure if you are sticking around for the evening, the Lord Commander will also see no issue in inviting you to the feast that we are currently holding in honor of the Society's 10th year.
And what is Sabra wearing?
You see, she is wearing what appears to be full plate. And in fact,
Oh,
you
snap.
see... 1 second.
Gordon, like.
You see a pendant hanging from her neck that is
Oh, no.
engraved with this symbol.
She's a named NPC? Oh.
Oh, yeah, I would recognize that, wouldn't I?
You would recognize it as the symbol of the Order of the Gauntlet.
And that didn't look like anything like the Wind Cultist had.
No, this is the Order of the Gauntlet.
Yeah. Gordon kind of breathed a sigh of relief.
But if I may ask, what's the Lord Commander's name?
The commander's name is Thurl Moroska.
Oh my god, I'm gonna need fucking help on that one.
So her name is Savra Billabranta. And Lord Commander Thurl Moroska.
I was not even close.
That's an interesting name.
And what's this feast that you told us about for?
It's for the Feathergill Society's 10th year. Today actually marks the 10th year since the organization's founding.
Interesting.
But please, follow me. We'll be climbing the spire to meet with the Lord Commander at the pinnacle.
But how long would it take to get up there?
Not long. 10 minutes at most. It's a relatively quick climb.
Well, lead the way.
Yeah.
My name is Uther.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
My name is Sarah.
Yeah, no, as she begins to escort the five of you through the spire and up to the pinnacle, you guys are led throughout the entire spire, basically. Let me pull this up here. As you make your way through, the first room that you would walk into is the front hall. The entrance is a 30-foot-long hall of white stone. At the opposite end of the hall are two 12-foot-tall doors like those of the entry gate. An eagle carved from a massive timber hangs from the far side of the ceiling, suspended on strong chains. The slender wings of steel sweep close to its sides. Its head is also fashioned of steel. You do see two what appear to be initiates in the hallway. As Savra and the five of you walk by, they stand at attention. The next room that you might see on your ascent, as you reach what appears to be the second floor, you briefly come across a landing that has two large open doors, and peering into the room in passing, you can see a great hall that spans, you can only imagine to be half the diameter of the tower itself. Between the overlarge windows, tapestries depicting scenes of gallant knights flying on hippogriffs, fighting dragons, and jousting with one another among the clouds. And high on the walls are mounted heads of griffins, wyverns, owlbears, manticores, things of the like. A long, curved table set for a feast stretches between the hall's twin hearths. The next room that you might get a glimpse of is another room that opens from a landing. Upon viewing from the open doors, you can see a chamber that contains what appears to be two beds, a fireplace, a closet, a couple of chests, and a small tapestry on the wall. And finally, as you reach the apex of the tower, the stairs terminate at a round stone gazebo that continues upward in a needle-like mironets. Beyond this enclosure, a small lawn grows upon the top of the tower, with four paths paved with white stones pointing the directions of the compass itself, it seems, each path ending in a pointed stone crenellation. At the pinnacle's edge, you can see what appears to be a spyglass on a tripod pointed downward. From this vantage point, you can imagine that the Feathergill Knights possess a supreme view of all that transpires in the nearby canyon and the Summer Hills beyond. as you begin to approach a man standing atop the pinnacle, you notice that the commander, or what you believe to be the commander, is a well-built male human. You can only imagine in his early 50s. Embossed feather patterns ornament the plates of his armor, and his kingly cloak boasts a feathered mantle. He smooths his white blonde hair into place, and then bows low before you as if he were only a lowly courier, before speaking up. Welcome to Feathergale Spire, retreat of the Feathergale Society. I am Thurl Moroska, Lord Commander.
Yeah, I'll return the bow and gesture.
One does it, sure.
I am Uther Lightborn. And I'll stand up.
As he begins to
I'm Corden.
straighten himself
Corden's
back
gonna
out.
say.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet the five of you. Your timing could not be more impeccable. I'm sure that Savra here has mentioned we plan a feast tonight in honor of our society's 10th year. I've been informed that the five of you seek safety for the evening on your travels.
Yes.
Yes.
We would be more than happy to accommodate you for the evening, and by all means, please, I invite you to join us for our feast tonight. The more the merrier.
I'm going to show him my Harper badge.
Ah, member of the Harpers. He pulls out, a pendant that has the same symbol of the Order of the Gauntlet on it. While we may be from different factions, we serve the same purpose.
Yeah, this is actually... We didn't come here seeking shelter. We came here under investigation. Not under your order, we thought of something else. Perhaps you may know information about this cult of the wind?
And you watch as his face darkens a little bit. Great evil lurks among these hills. Depraved cultists led by wretched monsters, but let us speak of such matters after the feast has warmed our blood.
Very well. I just didn't want to be here under false guise, since we're allies.
I appreciate the honesty. We'll speak more on the matter after the feast tonight.
Very well.
For the time being, I will have Savra show you to your rooms. You will be allowed to remain there and rest until the feast begins. Someone will be sent to bring you to the Great Hall when it is time.
I await the festivities, and I'll bow and back up.
He bows once more to the five of you, then goes back to... He begins to walk back over towards the spyglass. As Savra begins to lead all of you back down to the floor directly below the pinnacle, the third level. This is the third level. You would be stationed in the topmost rooms. While there's pictured only 2 beds. The beds are large enough to easily fit 2 people each. So between the 2 rooms, the 5 of you would have no issues having at least a decent sleep or rest, if so chose.
Excuse me, Savra.
Yes, how can I help?
Is there a place in this tower, like a library of sorts? A place with some books I could read?
You mean a library?
I mean, they could just have a study, you don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I'd like to have a look if you had such facilities available.
Unfortunately, we don't have anything of a study or a library. We tend to spend most of our time keeping watch over the hills and the surrounding area to make sure that anything that we can do to prevent harm to the neighboring towns is done. We unfortunately don't have leisure time all that often to warrant such a place.
How many members are in this tower?
Those are questions we shouldn't be asking. That's their business.
Okay. Oh, anyways.
It's perfectly alright. At current stands, let's say we have maybe around 20 or so active members within the tower.
And are they all higher ranked, or are most of them just new recruits or initiates?
I'd say maybe a third are initiates still working their way up the ranks.
Very well.
Each has to start somewhere.
Indeed.
Well, thank you for your time and show us around.
Yes, thank you.
So, what would you guys like to do to kill time until the feast?
Gordon's gonna study his cantrips.
Okay.
Gonna go into trance.
Okay.
I cast dancing lights and just like have them circle around like above me, and I'm just looking at them.
Karina's just gonna sit in the corner and stare at her ring as she turns it around on her finger.
Kami is gonna be playing with the dancing lights.
Easily amused like a cat.
I mean, yes. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
Is she doing like, if I do like the arc motion, does her head just follow in an arc like a normal cat?
Actually, yeah, she might.
You know what I'm talking about, right? On.
yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's how I amuse myself. I mess with Cammy.
Also, just so that you guys have this knowledge available to you, all of the ceilings in this spire are 18 feet high. All of the doors, as far as interior, are made of wood banded with iron. Most have no locks. All of the floors are made of white stone. There are many windows, starting from the second level up, that allow bright lights in during the day and dim light at night. with reinforced shutters to keep them closed.
Look, the question is there a place where Cammy can actually lie down on top of in the roof, the ceiling, or
No, there's no rafters
only on
or
the
anything
window.
like that. The windows are oversized almost. They stand 3 feet from the ground and 6 feet tall, 8 feet wide. Smaller windows, about half the size of the larger ones, on the higher up levels. So, about 3 feet tall, 4 feet wide. If the windows are open, it would be a little bit cramped, but you could probably lay down in the open windowsill.
Oh, that'll be at a different time.
Okay. As the day slowly passes, and around, I'd say, 6 p.m., Savra would come to gather the 5 of you. It is time for a feast. Please, follow me.
I'll end the dancing lights and get up and start following.
Guess I'll cause Cammy to be lost for a second as the light she was playing with are gone. And then soon follow after.
I shall snap out of my trance and follow suit.
Okay. As the 5 of you are led to the second floor of the spire. Clad in the finest garments of velvet brocade, the knights feast at a curved table in the great hall, where twin hearts blaze. You see Thurl Moroska sitting at the head of the table, and as the 5 of you walk in and are directed towards seats around the curved table, the food on the table is astonishing. There is a very large variety. There appears to be freshly cooked and baked salmon, trouts, deer, pork. If you can think of it, it's on this table.
Yum. Oh my
Deal.
god.
And as the 5 of you take seats, Thurl beginning to speak up. Honored guests, please tell us of your adventures in the Somber Hills. Let us aid you in any way that we can.
Our adventures, huh?
We investigated many places, particularly the Cult of the Earth in the Somber Hills.
Mm-hmm.
They are, I'm going to say, nearly defeated because we did not go deep enough. But right now, we've moved our priority to the Cult of the Wind. And I'm actually going to tell them everything I know pretty much about the summoning and all that. Them trying to bring their deities into the physical plane.
Okay. As you're mentioning all of this, there is applauds and toasts for the bravery that you have shown in dealing with the Cult of the Earth, the deeds that you have accomplished. things of that nature. Small anecdotes are dropped here and there. You mentioned the summoning and things of that nature, and maybe there's a few gasps or surprised looks and things of that nature. But for the most part, they all listen intently as you tell your story. I would say, covering the events and things of that nature takes you roughly about, I would say, an hour. And as you're beginning to wrap up your story, you see Moroska sort of leaning back in the chair slightly, his fingers interlocked, as he seems to be thinking. And he begins, at least it appears, he begins to start to say something when suddenly the doors to the Great Hall fly open, and you see a sentry from the pinnacle shouting, now standing in the doorway. Manticore, it's on the move! Immediately you watch as all of the knights in the room just sort of rise as one. The feast before them unfinished. As Moroska stands up, speaking out. Of course it would pick tonight of all nights to begin moving. No matter, we should take this opportunity to slay the monster. From his finger, he removes a feather-patterned gold ring set with garnet and holds it aloft, saying, "A prize for the one who brings me the beast's head."
Corden finishes stuffing his face.
Would you allow us to join your knights? I can help keep them safe.
I would be more than happy to have you tag along. In fact, I was going to ask if the 5 of you would be interested in joining 4 of my knights in their hunt. I'd be more than happy to lend you hippogriffs for the task as well.
That sounds great.
This is extremely out of my fucking comfort zone.
Cheer up. When's the next time you're ever gonna get to ride a hip?
Never. And
A
I'm gonna be
hippogriff?
frightened.
So Cameron's gonna go, a hippogriff. Is that like a giant bird?
It's a giant bird horse.
Her, you could clearly see a spark in her eye of, mischief.
Don't eat it.
That's
Don't even
That's about-
attempt to bite it.
is that the best description you ever heard on?
In case you've never seen a hippogriff,
I have.
It's a
don't
giant bird
remember.
horse.
Oh fuck, what was the one from Harry Potter? I forgot its name. Buckbeak.
I'm just, I only said this because Cammy.
Yeah. That's why I said don't take a bite out of it.
as
Oh,
you are led by
Got it.
Moroska to the top, the pinnacle of the tower once again. You see 4 Feathergale knights assemble at the pinnacle, each mounted upon what appears to be giant hippogriffs. The moon illuminates the misty canyon below Feathergale's spire, and in the far distance, a single shard of darkness moves, flitting in and out of the mist. Then the shadow sinks beneath the bank of clouds, lost again from sight. And
So, Commander, I suppose we'll be riding with one of your knights? Each of us?
You can join their
I mean,
group
in theory.
and ride with them. You can form your own group, or you can split up into multiple groups.
I'm riding with them. I am not
I'm gonna
proficient.
ride with a knight because I don't trust myself, and yeah.
They're the
She's used to be
professionals.
underground. She's not used to being in the total opposite in the air.
So Uthar and Karina are
Yeah.
gonna ride with a knight.
Corn wants to be by himself.
Okay, Corden wants to be by himself, so
Oh,
Corden
goodness.
would be given the reins to one of the griffins. Or hippogriff.
Yes.
Is it like a mid? What do you call the small ones?
No, it's a full-size hippogriff.
Pygmy.
No,
Pygmy.
no, it's a full-size hippogriff.
Oh goodness.
Despite the impending danger of a large bird that could easily gobble him up, Corden is very excited.
Well, Cammy wants to ride alone. She takes a night.
And that leaves me to take a night.
Let's do it. Let's kill this place.
All right.
Let's see. I will leave Mr. Noodles, my snake.
Mr. Noodle.
Yeah. Yep.
Your fancy snake.
I'm gonna leave it with Karina. Karina's coming, right?
Yeah,
I'm
Karina's
coming.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm with another knight because I don't like you.
So my
I'm
snake is
usually
on
underground.
you. My snake is on you. So.
Yay, sneaky. Karina's just gonna stroke its head gently. It's like, hey.
Sierra has incredibly piqued interest in this creature she has only heard of.
All right. As all of you begin to take off on these hippogriffs, launching into the air, another thing that I will mention, just because it's, well, it is rather interesting at night here. Let me see, where was it? Now that it's nighttime, the winds has calmed to little more than a breeze, and a light fog has settled over the canyon. It is almost supernaturally peaceful at night. The fog itself makes it relatively difficult to track the Manticore. But as the five of you begin to take off in the direction that the Manticore had been spotted, that is where we will pick up next week.
Yeah.
Because it is 2 a.m. We may have started an hour late tonight, but
Oh.
I'm going to try to
I will cut that Manticore's head off.
actually keep it to its allotted time frame,
Schedule.
which we've been live for 2 hours and 44 minutes, so it's only shy of 15 minutes. There are mechanics to hunting down this Manticore, and obviously, whether or not as characters, but I'm sure as players, all of you have many questions right now.
I know what a Manticore is.
Oh, not about that. About the fact that you went here looking for the Cult of the Air and found yourselves dealing
found
with the
something
Order of the
completely
Gauntlets.
Yeah.
The good
There's
guys.
a man
Probably
or hippogriff, a giant bird.
For those that have never seen a Manticore before,
Yep. Manticores
Do
are
tell.
cool.
Manticores are great.
They're also deadly.
No,
The
they're
Manticore
not.
is a monster in every sense of the word. It has a vaguely humanoid head, the body of a lion, the wings of a dragon. A bristling mane stretches down the creature's back, and its long tail ends in a cluster of deadly spikes that can impale prey at impressive range. They are fierce killers that hunt far and wide for prey, and they are typically known to work together to take down particularly large or dangerous creatures, sharing the meal once a kill is made.
Yeah, this doesn't look deadly to me. It looks quite fluffy.
Yeah, fluffy mane, but that's about it.
I mean, can we talk to them? Probably not.
But regardless, we will pick up next week with the Manticore hunts. And let me,
Next week.
just so that I don't forget. So, 5 hippogriffs. Alright.
Alrighty, good night, guys.
Good
You
night.
might
Good
want to
night.
look at the combat tracker before you take off, my friend.
We shall do that.
Nothing seems wrong with the combat tracker.
Oh.
This is fine.
Oh.
It seems really one-sided.
Slightly. But I think that Manticore is going to have enough damage output to be able to knock everyone to death.
This
No, the real challenge is not to get a kill.
is where we will pick up next week, so that the stream can see.
Yeah, because whoever picks up the kill actually matters right now.
This is the combat tracker. This is what our party will be dealing with going into next week. Anyway, as is typical, we will end tonight with a round of shoutouts, starting from the top. Karina, tell them who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
I'm Blue Flame Flareon. I am also known as Karina in D&D. You can also find me at twitch.tv/blueflameflareon. I currently stream balloons on a daily basis, as well as gonna be streaming tomorrow. I'll be streaming Sekiro for first and blind playthrough. So we'll see how that goes.
In other words, go watch this man.
Coleman, you're up.
Go watch him die
No,
100 times.
I will die a lot. I'll run into it with Dark Souls mentality, and I'll die a lot.
Sierra, tell them who you are, what you do, where they can find you.
Hello, my name is Common, and I play Singer. And I don't stream, but you can catch me around here. That is all.
Corden.
Hey, what's up? It's me, it's your boy Coin Short Show.
Oh, shit.
I don't currently stream because I got grandma in. Feeling kind of tired tonight. Sorry about that. But yeah, twitch.tv/I lost my SOX. socks. Other than that, I think that's all for me.
Cammy.
Who's next?
Ondus, a smile.
Nah, this is for players, buddy. Tell them who you are, what
What
you
do you
do, where
mean?
you're at, Cammy.
Hello, I am the drink of life. I play Cammy. Please don't look for me.
Too bad I already put your Twitch in the chat.
Why my Twitch? What? Stop it.
Uthar.
Hey, I'm Varun. I play Uthar, and you can find me at Captain Varun on Twitch.
And
I'm currently not streaming, but plans in the
it's
future.
Captain _ Varn, correct?
Yeah, Captain _ Varun.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I know that we have been kind of MIA on the channel for the last couple of weeks, with me having started up my job and trying to get my schedule finalized and everything. It seems that I am consistently getting Saturdays off, which means this campaign should not have any issues, barring I don't
Should.
sleep through it because I'm utterly exhausted. I am going to be talking with my hiring manager tomorrow to sort of try and finalize my schedule going forward. And I'm going to specifically request that I get Saturdays and Tuesdays off consistently, which means if I can secure Tuesdays off, then we will be back on Tuesdays with God's Might consistently. The only reason that my campaigns have been inconsistent at the moment is because of the work schedule that I have, and just in general being, quite honestly, utterly exhausted by the time I get home and just struggling to fall asleep and stay asleep. Just as an example, I got home today at 7 a.m. and I finally passed out around 8 a.m., then woke up at noon, did D&D until 7 p.m., from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. With Abby's group, which, by the way, Varn, we're going to get together with you in voice sometime here in the near future, and just hang out with you and let them get to know you, so that we can try and get you into that campaign.
Okay.
Because we were actually talking about that before going live today. But you can find that campaign over on twitch.tv/Abby with 2 Y's, ABBYY. That campaign is live every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and it will typically go until around 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern, with the occasional longer session like we had today, which went until 7 p.m. Then, obviously, Tuesdays at... It's been so long that I actually have to go to my scheduling channel for this. Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern is God's Might. I'm not trying to change the day and time on that, which is why I'm requesting that I have Tuesdays off, just because scheduling 7 people would be an utter nightmare. Tyranny of Dragons: The Chosen, which is currently slotted for Wednesdays at 8:30. That campaign is on a pseudo permanent break until we can figure out an exact day and time. I know that there's one day that we have talked about, and I'm going to talk with the players about this more in depth within the coming days, and see about getting that campaign sorted so that that can make its return as well. And then, obviously, we're here every Saturday at 11 p.m. Eastern, barring unfortunate circumstances or things of that nature, for Princes of the Apocalypse. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out tonight, hanging out with us. This is the first time I've gotten to play D&D in about 2 weeks, and I've been looking forward to it, which is why I tried to make sure that I was awake. I missed this. I need this shit. Like, I need this break after a work week. So
It's like On's drugs. He needs D&D.
yeah, I need y'all got any more of that crack cocaine?
No,
No.
but we got memes.
I don't.
More memes.
I get enough memes as it is. Anyway,
Most of the memes.
thank you guys for hanging out tonight. We will be back. I don't know if we're gonna be. I don't know for a fact if we will be live this coming Tuesday for God's Might. I'm having all of my players go under the assumption that it is until otherwise said. As I've mentioned, I will know what my schedule looks like tomorrow, and I will keep everyone updated then. So if you are in God's Might, keep an eye out in that channel, please. I will have more information either tomorrow or on Monday.
Good night.
Anyway, guys, have a good night. Once again, thank you for joining us, and we will, at the very least, see you next Saturday. Take care.
Later.
See you later.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.